What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Maths Guide. Today we are going to try to understand the column method of addition. So let's go. Okay, so our top tip for today is we're going to try and use our column titles to avoid making mistakes. So let's have a look at this first example, the green chili challenge. We have 234 add to 121. Now the first stage of addition is we might partition these numbers, which means we have 234 added to 123, and partitioning looks like this. We would break the 234 into a 200, a 30 and a 4, and then I could break the 123 into a 100, a 20 and a 3. And now all I need to do to add is to actually just add the individual parts up. So I could add 200 to 100, leaves me 300, 30 and 20, leaves me 50, 4 and 3, leaves me 7. Add all that together, which is really simple, and I end up with 357. So this is the first stage of addition, but there's a serious problem, and let's see what happens in this second example when we try and do the same thing. So this time I have 649, and I'm adding it to 173. Let's do exactly the same thing. Let's separate my 649 into a 600, a 40 and a 9, and a 100, a 70 and a 3. Now when I add up my individual parts, I can see I have a 600 and a 100, that's 700. But this time when I have my 40 and my 70, I end up with 110. And again, when I add my 9 to my 3, I end up with 12. So adding this back together becomes much harder, and many people can make mistakes. So we need another method when we start to what's called bridge the 10, which means we get a number bigger than 10 when we add two of these sections together. Here, for example, 9 and 3 is 12, greater than 10. Therefore, we have actually got not just a 1s, but a 10 as well. And here we had not just 10s, but we had 100 in the answer as well when I added 40 to 70. So I need another method, and we're going to explore two methods today with this second example. And the first method we're going to use is like a halfway method between the partitioning method you just saw and the full quick column addition. Let's have a look at this question again. And I have 649. So my 649 I'm going to break into a 600, a 40 and a 9. Now at this point I'm going to follow my tip, and I'm going to use column titles to avoid mistakes. This column is my 1s, this is my 10s, and this is my 100s. Now I'm adding it to 173. Instead of putting it next to it, I'm actually going to put it under it, and therefore keep it in columns. So I have 173, and we can start to see the shape of column addition. Put my equals lines in place, my addition sign, and I'm ready to begin. Now notice I have left a little line here, and I've done that deliberately. I've done that so that if we have anything that bridges the 10, I'm going to put it in that space. So now when I start, I'm going to follow a new rule, which is a very important rule of column method, and that is to always start from our smallest value. Now if someone says always start from the 1s, they're wrong, because we could end up having decimals and tenths down here. We don't in this case, but when we get to decimals, we will have things smaller than 1. So we don't say we start at 1s, we say we start from the smallest value. In this case, that is my 1s. So let's start here, and I'm going to do my 9 add 3. Well, if we work that out down here, 9 add 3 equals 12. Now when I look at my 12, I can realize that that is actually a 10 and a 2. The 10 is in the 10s column, and the 2 is in the 1s column. And again, if I go back to my tip and I put my 1s and 10s above the number, I can see that the 2 should live in the 1s column, but the 10 part of my 12 is actually in the 10s column. And I'm not going to put that in the answer because we haven't worked out this part of the question yet. So I'm going to put my 10 up here, waiting to be part of the 10s question. And now I can do the 10s. I have 40 plus 70 plus 10. So let's have a look at that down here as well. And 40 plus 70 plus 10 gets me to 120. And my 120 can be looked at as a 100, a 20, and 0 1s. Now we're glad it's 0 1s because we've already done our 1s column. So we've got nothing to put in our ones column, but the 20 will come into the tens column because we've done the answer to our tens now. And the 100 does not go in the hundreds answer row, it goes in the 100 question row because we haven't yet worked out our hundreds. Okay, and finally we can work out our hundreds. 600 plus 100 plus 100 is 800. Now to get the final answer, all I have to do is 800 plus 20 plus 2, and that gives me an answer of 822. Easy. But as I said before, this is the little halfway house between our partitioning method and our quick column method. So let's have a look at how this looks in quick column method. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing, but this time I'm going to write just the numbers 649 added to 173. Put my answer row and my addition sign. Don't forget the tip of putting my ones, tens and hundreds. And I'm ready to begin with my smallest value, which in this case is 9 plus 3. And 9 plus 3 is 12. Exactly what we had before. 9 plus 3 was 12. I put my 10 across into the tens column and my 2 into the ones column. So we can see the 10 and the 2 of my 12. In this case, we do exactly the same thing, but I put my 2 in the answer row. And instead of putting a whole 10, because my question's not partitioned like it is here with 40, 70, I've just got a 4 and a 7 in the tens column. So now I'm just going to add a 1 to that tens column. And now when I add that column, it's 1 plus 4 plus 7, which is 12. Now, if we think about it, it's not actually 12, is it? It's 12 tens because I'm in the tens column, which is 120, which is exactly what I got last time. I got 120. But this time I'm representing the 100 with just this little 1 in the hundreds column, and I'm representing the 20 with the 2 in the tens answer column. And now when I come to do my hundreds, all I need to do is add up my 1, 6 and 2, which gives me 8, which is exactly what I did before. I added the 1 and the 6, and that got me 800. The only difference is now that I've got that final column done, I have the full answer ready for me. I don't need to add it all up and get another answer over here. My answer is already ready in the columns at 822, which is why we call it the quick method. So hopefully what you can see is the difference between this method here, which is the expanded column method, and this method here, which is the short column method. Well, let's think about why we would start with the expanded column method when we're learning about column method. And the answer to that is because it's easier to understand what's happening when we start to carry over these tens or 100s into the next column. We see them as tens and 100s. Sometimes in the quick method, with this one and this one just here, it's actually quite difficult to see what we're doing. We might not know that they're tens and hundreds. We might just think we're carrying over one and we don't really understand why. So the expanded method is very nice for actually understanding what's going on. So now it's your turn. There are 2 questions here. I want you to use the expanded method and short method for both of these questions. You should obviously get the same answer for the expanded and the short method. Have a go at working these out now. Press pause on the video now. Good luck. And there you have it. That is hopefully a video to help you understand what column method is and how we use it, and also help you transition from the expanded method you might be familiar with. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. If it was, think about heading over to themathshelter.com where you're going to find loads more videos for everything you need to know about your age group maths. But for now guys, I'm going to see you in another video. Peace out.